We're on the record in the case of John Urich versus Maria Urich, 5377730. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Anderson, bar number 606, appearing for Attorney Kurt Smith with John Urich, the plaintiff, who's present.
Your name for the record, ma'am.
Maria Urich.
Maria Urich? Okay, thank you. This is the time set for the plaintiff. You can have a seat. This is the time set for the plaintiff's motion for temporary orders of custody on an order shortening time. It's also a child support, spousal support, exclusive possession, kitchen sink motion, as I call them. There was service upon the defendant. You received the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Since it's on an order shortening time, you're not expected to file a written opposition. Excuse me, but I will let you verbally respond. Okay? So he has alleged that that you don't have a home. Are you in a residence or, okay, what's your residence?
I have a residence in California.
Do you have one locally?
Yes, I actually have one locally and in California, but my primary one is in California.
All right. When did you move to California?
Well, we've been going back and forth there for 2 years now, and I guess technically I moved in the middle of January with some of my things. I haven't been allowed to get all of my things yet.
Okay, just let's go with my questions, okay, instead of arguing your case. I can't really read your writing.
My writing?
Can you put your California address on the record? Just state it.
Oh. Yeah. It's 25.
Menifee?
Menifee, Menifee. It's a suburb of Riverside.
Okay. And Las Vegas, what's your address?
It's
Henderson, 89.
Henderson, Nevada. I forgot the zip code. I don't get mail there.
For the record, Your Honor, Dad has asked where she's been housing
And,
their daughter,
all
and she
I'm going
wants
to
to
ask
disclose
more
it.
questions, and you'll be able to respond.
It's 89002.
Thank you. Okay. And who lives there?
My daughter's vocal coach and I. But
Daughter's vocal coach. Okay. And what's that person's name?
Gilby Landon,
Can you spell that?
GilbyLandin.
Gilby Landon. And you said your daughter.
But she's mostly in California, and so am I. That's just when we come to Nevada.
Okay. How long do you stay in Nevada?
I come to Nevada to visit my children.
Okay. How often?
As often as I can, probably about a week out of every month. I try to make sure.
Okay. So 1 week a month? And you stay there at the Rocky Star Drive?
Now I have that as my permanent residence. I was staying at a residence the entire time I was in Nevada. The entire time from up until last month, I was staying at a previous address. But from now on, I'll be at this address, and I have an agreement saying that I can stay there
Okay.
as long as I would like.
Okay. So Gilby Landon, he what, rents you a room?
Yeah, well, he said that I can live there free until I get some money together.
Okay. All right.
Because
So
he
tell me,
understands my financial situation.
Mr. Landon lives there, and who else lives there?
That's it.
Okay. How many bedrooms?
There's 3.
And it's just Mr. Landon?
Yes.
All right.
I do have it written that he has let me use it, that I can stay there up to a year, and I have proof of that. So I have proof that if I need to be in Las Vegas, that I can be. I mean, in Henderson, that I can stay there up to a year.
Okay. Are you employed in California?
No, I'm not currently employed. I was doing designs for my husband until he stopped giving me that opportunity. And I've been working on a portfolio since then so that I can do freelance designs for other sign companies. And so that's how I, you know, I'm just barely getting by. But, you know, I do have two other people that have promised me employment, and I have proof of that.
Okay. So what are you qualified to do?
Well, I have 2 degrees, Your Honor. I've been a tutor my whole life. I had a 4.35 GPA. I was a housewife for 12 years, so a lot of that I have to start over with. Yeah, so I'm doing the best I can right now. My daughter is a professional actress and dancer, and she just, for instance, filmed an official video for Sia and was asked to be at the Video Music Awards, and she did a Barbie commercial that trended worldwide, and my main job is managing her career, and that's the reason why I haven't gotten a 9-to-5 job, although I do have 2 offers that are official, and where I could have money, but right now we're getting by enough. You know, right now we're doing what we need to do for her career, and that's the most important thing to me right now are my children. So.
All right. And she lives in California?
Yeah, well, we both live in California. When I'm in Las Vegas, we stay at that other residence.
Okay. I just
Yes,
need
yes,
to
I
know
just
your
want to
daughter.
be
What
clear.
is her name?
My daughter's name is Jordan Berlin Urich.
Okay. And how old is Jordan?
She just turned 11 not very long ago on May 19th.
Okay. And these jobs that you've been offered, what are they?
Well, one is a pool cleaning service,
Okay.
and the other one is helping to manage a company called Z Money Inc.
Okay. And what would you be doing for the pool cleaning service?
I would be doing pool cleaning.
And what would you be doing for Z Money
And
Inc.?
also, I would be handling phone calls, he said, and arranging, you know, all the, you know, bookkeeping as far as that goes.
Okay. And Z Money Inc.?
And Z Money Inc., I would be the same thing. I would be managing phone calls and, you know, acting as a kind of like a booking person.
Okay. And do you plan on taking either one of those jobs?
No, I don't.
All right. So what do you plan to do?
I plan on to keep doing what I'm doing for a limited amount of time because I want to put my portfolio together and continue to do designs because I'm very good at designs. And I can work that around my daughter's schedule. And it's taking me a little bit of time because this month I had a surgery, and that took 2 months out of, you know, my time. It was a life-threatening surgery, and I had to get through that. And yeah, so moving forward, I plan to keep, you know, doing my portfolio.
How are you
for time.
supporting yourself financially?
Well, I know it's like not the best thing to do, but I was getting work from my ex until he stopped giving it to me. So I was doing that to make some money, and I am not like happy about saying this, but I got a business license and became an exotic dancer. And when I really need the money, I dance. But I only do that when I need to. I've done it a few times now. Probably a dozen times since I've left. I've had to dance to pay for different things that my daughters desperately needed to do. She
Okay.
needed to go to a training camp, which she went to, and she became, out of 880 people, they picked her one of 16 to travel and be a part of this elite team, and it was a good choice. I needed $500 for it. So there's no other way
And you're
to get
working
it.
as a dancer in California or here?
Well, when I'm in California, if I've danced at Fritz in order to make some money so that I wouldn't have to go back and forth. And when I'm in Las Vegas, I have danced at Olympic Garden and Treasures.
Okay.
But like I said, that's not something I'm proud of. I just needed to make income. And when I desperately need income, that's what I do.
So how much would you say that you earn from your freelance work?
Well, my ex was paying me $100 a design, but I no longer have that. I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Urick. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Mr. Urick was paying me $100 a design in the beginning when we first separated. And he stopped doing that. He stopped giving me any financial help at all. And so now...
Okay, the reason I ask is because I'm looking at your financial disclosure form, and it says you make $4,000 a month.
Well, I wrote that because if I worked every day, for 5 days a week, I think that I could make that. And then if someone told me that I shouldn't put what I think I can make, I should put actually what I am making, and then not to turn it in. And I didn't want to lie, and so I wanted to estimate what I could possibly make. But in actuality, that's not. I don't make that much. In actuality, I barely make any. I honestly don't make that much money. So, but I could if I needed to. When I was trying to save for my surgery, I was able to make $1,000 in a week. That's not the job I want to have. I want to be a graphic designer. I have 2 degrees. I've been doing it for 12 years. I'm very good at what I do. Okay. And I am working on that route. But when I do need money, I can come up with it quickly. I just don't like that work.
Okay. So in California, at this Trade Winds address, who do you live with there?
I live in a trailer on my best friend's horse ranch. She's been my friend since grade school. She's always been there for me. As a matter of fact, even in our marriage, I've been going back and forth between here in California for my daughter's career for years now. Mr. Urick would attest to this.
Okay.
And I stayed there.
So you stay there quite a bit then?
She's always let me stay there.
Okay,
with no
good.
conditions.
All right, you're rambling, so just answer my questions.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's a trailer. I said, who lives there? Who lives there?
Yeah, just no one lives in the trailer, just me and my daughter. All of our things are there. That's why I keep our stuff.
Okay, so you and your daughter. All right. And is she going to school?
Yeah, she is homeschooled, and I take care of all that.
Okay. Now, the plaintiff has alleged that you do drugs.
No, I don't do drugs, and I've always said I'm willing to take a drug test at any time, and I am willing.
Do you have a history of doing drugs?
No, I don't. I've never been arrested in my life for anything, and I've been a tutor my whole life working with children. I can't.
All right, so you have no history of drug use.
No, I don't have a history.
Have you ever been arrested for domestic violence?
Never. I've never been arrested for anything.
So Dad is living at the Katy Avenue address? Yes? Okay. So do you see why he shouldn't be living there?
No.
So you're okay with him staying there. Do you own it or rent it?
We rent it.
And do you have belongings at that address? Okay. Are you asking to move them?
I would like my belongings. Yes. I have not had permission to get my belongings.
All right. So give me an idea of what belongings you have there.
I have my clothing. I have my daughter's clothing. I have boxes and boxes of belongings that I had before the marriage. I have tons of decorations that I've created and bought over the years. I have furniture. I have pots, pans.
Can you make a list?
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be real specific, but
Your Honor, I
can
don't know
you
if I'm
make a
allowed-
list? All right, so take a note that you're going to need to do this.
Your Honor, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this at this point, but 5 years ago I wanted to leave the marriage, and at that point when I did, he begged me to stay, and he wrote a letter saying that if I did stay, that he would give me all of those things with no questions asked.
Okay, so write a note to yourself that I need you to do an inventory of the items that you're requesting out of the Katy Avenue residence.
One of the items that I'm requesting, he's saying...
No, I said write a note.
A note, okay.
Write a note to yourself. Judge wants me to do an inventory of items I want out of the Katy Avenue residence. Now, I'm not saying you're getting 100% of those. I just want to get some idea And I'm sure council wants to have some idea of what you're requesting.
Okay. When do I turn that in?
Well, we'll go over all of that, but I just wanted you to take a note, okay? Counsel, you want a drug test today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You would have to pay for it. What's the allegation as to a specific drug?
We believe methamphetamine. 2 weeks ago, he received a call from her stepfather that lives in
So I can tell
Riverside.
options. Meth?
And possibly cocaine.
Okay, meth and cocaine. All right. All right. I've read your papers, but I'll allow you to argue and
there's-
respond to anything that she just said.
Certainly are. There's a few things that wouldn't be in the papers. Dad obviously drew them up. And again, one of the impetus is for him to bring this action was this call that I was telling the court about from her stepfather, who lives in Riverside, saying that she had showed up at his residence, that she was, quote, tweaking, that was his words, that she was being angry, violent, and out of control. And certainly Dad, as alleged in his papers, has seen her use meth in the past. Now, I would note that at no time has he given her any type of consent, written or otherwise, or has there been an order of the court for her to relocate to California with the child. And for her to claim that her primary residence with the child is there in California, I think, is problematic. This motion raises questions of stability. Dad has a house that he rents. She's not on the lease. And he provides a stable home for the children. He has a responsible job. He's employed, goes to work. He actually works out of the home, so that eliminates any concerns about his ability to care for the children. And he has previously offered her a job, $500 a week, to do graphic designs for the sign business. She has not decided to pursue that. Now, as far as...
How would she do that? Would she email him? I mean, he's nodding yes. Do you have internet service in California?
Yes. I
Okay,
did
good.
designs for him and he didn't pay me.
Okay. All right.
All right. And I'm sure that since she says she's done designs before, the logistics certainly could have been worked out. Now, as far as the children, there's 3 children, 2 boys, and we've really heard little argument from her to indicate that she would oppose Dad having primary custody of the boys, because that's been the situation since she left the home approximately 7+ months ago. So I think the real issue is the temporary custody of the daughter. And again, Dad has substantial concerns about Mom's ability to provide and care for the daughter. Dad has tried to find out prior to this hearing where she's been keeping the daughter, and she would not tell him. This disclosure of the residence that she's provided today is something new to Dad. The gentleman that she identified as the child's vocal coach is a person that Dad knows through being associated with a band for the 18-year-old stepson. He's not the type of person that Dad really would have comfort level being around his daughter. The daughter's career, Mom puts a lot of focus on that, but her well-being certainly has to come before any career aspirations. Right now, the career is not at any great shape. She's lost her agent, and she had an agent in Hollywood, lost the agent because of Mom's behavior. And so certainly the child needs structure. She needs to be going to school. Mom's
How long has she secluded the child from him?
Well, as far as totally, it's when these papers were filed. Before that, Dad was able to see the child on a fairly regular basis. Would that be accurate?
Yes, but without accusing her of lying, I can't believe a lot of what she says. So if she tells me she's staying here, I don't really know if she really is.
So for the last 2 weeks, you haven't seen your daughter?
Yeah, it was a lot. She let me take her to my son's birthday party at Sky Zone, but she was there and told me, "You're not kidnapping her." And I'm like, "What am I going to take her? You know, where we live? Like, what am I going to do?" And then she left with my daughter right as the party ended. But that was this last Tuesday, 2 days ago.
Do you agree to the homeschooling?
Yes and no. I mean, I agreed to it when things were going well for my daughter. She was competitively dancing. She had a Hollywood agent. She was going on auditions. Now she did not pass 5th grade. She's in summer school. She lost her agent. She isn't competitively dancing. She's not going to a competitive dance studio consistently. She's doing dance videos, which I have no idea if that's even real. And that's related to this Dance Moms show that Maria wanted to be on, and kind of took my daughter in there with her. There was a great studio in Redlands, California, but ran by Mr. Schwimmer, and his daughter, Lacey Schwimmer, was on Dancing with the Stars, and really took a liking to Jordan, and we were even talked about moving there, which I'm even willing to do today, for my daughter to go to that dance studio, because it's top-notch, but they don't want nothing to do with her because she took her to Dance Moms. And they go, "We don't want to be involved with you if you're going to that Dance Mom show. That's not dancing. That's going to ruin your daughter." So I feel my daughter's career is going down, not up.
She's been kicked out of 2 studios recently, again, due to mom's behavior. Mom has contacted dad recently, asking him to sign passport application papers so the child can go to Australia for some type of dance proceeding. Dad has substantial concerns and fears about that, and he's certainly not willing to do that. So,
You said there was a history of domestic violence, and she said she hasn't been arrested.
he obtained a temporary protective order back in February. She had sucker punched him in the nose during an incident, and that was in place for 30 days. It was not extended because it was virtually difficult to try to serve her with the TPO. But yeah, there has been a history of her striking him, which caused Dad to seek an application for a TPO.
And striking my daughter.
And
I'm sorry?
she's also, Dad's witnessed her strike their daughter.
Where's Jordan now?
She's with my friend Patricia
Where?
in Las Vegas with my friend Patricia on like a couple blocks from the Katie house. He knows, he's familiar with her.
No, Patricia?
Yeah. That's
Where
close
she
to
lives?
that's close to my house. Yes, that's where she was staying when I picked her up Tuesday to go to the birthday party.
Okay, so you
She
know where
temp-
that is.
Yeah.
And again, Your Honor, if we just look at this from a stability and comfort level, the representations that Mom's made here today, I don't really think raise a great comfort level that this child is being provided all that she should be provided. You know, living in a trailer at times, bouncing around from certain friends. And again, as Dad has alleged, at times she's been in her car. And, you know, she kind of, to quote an old movie phrase, has depended on the comfort of strangers at points. And it's just not stable. Dad has stability and can provide for this child at this time much better than Mom can. So we ask the court to grant Dad the temporary custody. She does need to be drug tested. She has told Dad that she's used drugs. She's also told him that she feels she has a way to beat the test, but Dad's concerns are such that he feels that she does use and needs to be tested. It sounds like she has no opposition to his request for exclusive possession. I imagine this is probably a matter the court's going to refer for mediation, but at the present time, this child should not be going to Australia, should not be going to California, and the focus should be on her well-being and not a career which his dad has described as going down, not up.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Do I get to talk?
Yes, you can respond.
Being a mother is the most important thing in the world to me, and I would do anything for any of my children, and that's including making sure that they have love from both of their parents, me and Mr. Urich. Now, as far as my daughter is concerned, I've never ever been kicked out of any studio. I chose to leave, and the reason why I chose to leave is because she outgrew the studios, and I can prove that. Almost every single thing that was just said is a complete lie. Should I but it and explain why it's a lie, or should I say what I wanted to say and talk about the children's best interests?
I want to know about your children's best interest.
Okay. I talked to, 5 years ago, I wanted to leave the marriage. I talked to my children, each one independently, and asked them what would make them happiest, what would they like. At that time, even though I really wanted to leave, I felt like my youngest one wasn't ready. I stayed longer. It's been unbearable. I had to leave. When I re-talked to them again, I talked to them, and I asked the boys what would make them happiest. That's the reason why they're with their dad right now, is because he's the coach of their football team, which I encouraged, by the way. I encouraged him to be the coach of this football team and the basketball team. Both boys said that they wanted to stay there. I call and I text them every single night.
When do you see them?
I see them all the time, and I also tell them, whenever you miss
Do
me.
you have a schedule?
No, I don't have a schedule, because my daughter gets auditions out of the blue, and he used to get emailed to them out of the blue for anything, and I have to drop everything and go to them. So that
Do
is
you communicate the auditions to him?
He got that's yes, exactly. Yes, he was emailed auditions all the time. He has always had communication with his daughter. She had a phone, and he called her at
Well, I want to know if he's in the loop on her career. I want to know
Yes,
if
he
he's
is,
in. Does
and
he
has
get the
been.
emails for the
Not only that,
auditions?
not only is he on the loop of her career, but
You
I
get
send
the
him,
emails from the auditions?
Not in the last 8 months, no. I have no idea what they're doing.
Yes.
The only way I find out what my daughter's doing is I go on my daughter's Instagram page, which she manages, and I see what she's doing.
But he needs to be in on her career. You don't just take control of her career.
Ms. Hughes, that's a complete lie. I have emails that have been sent to him. I have updates. I send him emails, updates, pictures, everything. She had a phone that he paid for. He could text, call her anytime. I tell him at all times where we are. He's always known where we are.
She's between Las Vegas and California?
Yes, because of her career. That is the reason. He shut her phone off. He talks to her, asks her who I'm screwing, where I'm at, where she's at. I tell him, he has always known where she's at. I can prove this. I have emails proving it. When she hit her head one time and got hurt, I even told him about that.
This is
When
the
do I get to
this is the
say-
law.
When do I get to talk about?
Well, you've been talking. What do you mean? When do
Okay,
you get
all
to
right.
talk?
I'm just like he said a lot, and I want to respond to that.
Okay. Not right now. I don't grant temporary relocations. The law requires a court order or written consent for relocation. That means she has to stay in Las Vegas because Dad is saying, I want her to go to school, I want her to get an education. Her career is second, her education is first. So she can't move. I'm ordering that she can't move right now. You haven't filed anything for her to move. She can't move. Right? She is to live at Katy Avenue. That. Calm down and sit down. You're going to be drug tested. You need to go by noon. Okay? I'm going to send you to mediation so you can work on a schedule where you can see them. But he has temporary primary physical custody, and you have joint legal custody. Stop raising your hand. I'm making the orders. You're not even writing anything down. All you want to do is interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
Drugs. He does all. I have a lot.
You want to pay for him to be drug
I
tested?
have a lot to say.
Do you? Listen. This is not the Jerry Springer show, okay?
understand.
This is not Dancing Moms. This isn't a reality show.
I understand.
Okay, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. Your daughter's welfare is more important than a dancing career. Ma'am, stop interrupting me. We're going to have some stability. We're going to proceed orderly. You don't get to say whatever you want to say. When I ask you a question, I expect you to answer it. You don't just blurt out whatever. Now, if you have the funds to have him drug tested, I'll order him to be drug tested if you think he's doing drugs. But you have to pay for it just like he has to pay for yours. So pull yourself together and answer my question. Do you want him drug tested, and will you pay for it?
Yes, he does pain pills. Yes.
Okay. Does he have a prescription?
No.
Okay, so you think he abuses prescription medication?
Yes, I know he does.
Okay,
He does have prescription, Your Honor.
okay. You have to provide the prescription. Okay? You have to pay for it. You have to pay for his drug test. Just like he has to pay for yours. I'm sending you to mediation. You need to follow counsel outside of the courthouse where you can go sign up for mediation. You're going to mediate a schedule. Temporarily, you have primary custody. You will enroll her in school. Okay?
Yes.
You need to understand that withholding the children is a felony. You can be incarcerated for parental kidnapping. Do I make myself clear? You're not to take her to California.
As far as the
Are they
exchange,
opioids?
It's hydrocodone. I'm prescribed for a day for my bad back and spine.
I'm just making a note so they
Okay.
know. Explicit possession is granted. Now, temporarily, visitation, if she's in town. You're going to be in school, so what would it be temporarily?
You ask me? For her to see the kids?
Is
Well,
she
I'd like
seeing
the
the
kids to
boys
see
at
their
all?
mom whenever they want, but I would like to be present. I don't
Okay.
feel comfortable with her just taking the kids. She has taken them to a movie, 4 or 5 times in the last 8 months,
Okay.
which I was fine with. Just overnight, or I don't know what she may or may not do.
do you want to supervise the gas?
Yeah, initially, I think. Supervise at
The
my
drug
house.
test results. Well, before I order that, I'm going to get the results back. If they're clean, there isn't any reason why she can't. Now, if she takes them to California or takes Jordan to California, she will be guilty of a felony. It's a felony to take her. You can't just take her. So you have to have Dad's permission.
So with permission, I could.
You have to have his written permission. He gets to say, because she's not going to be taken out of school. She needs to attend school Monday through Friday.
Homeschool is school.
What school is she going to go to?
Did she pass 5th grade,
Yes.
Maria?
Yes.
Then she would start at Lawrence Middle School. But I may homeschool her. She's used to that.
And you work from home, right?
Yes.
Okay. You'll just need to let your counsel know. Counsel, you just need to update the court, file something.
Will do.
Let me know if she's being homeschooled or if she's enrolled in school. I'll leave that to your discretion, sir. Okay, temporarily. If she is clean, which we won't find out till next week, what do you propose for contact?
I don't want her leaving the state. My daughter. She doesn't really see the boys that often. I mean, I want them to be with their mom, too, so as long as she's stable and not...
I think it might help Dad if he had a little more information on her housing.
Well, I
mean,
interrogated her pretty well about that. So.
I know the house.
I know sometimes the court will have her take pictures and provide it and give a little more information.
I was at that house 3-4 years ago, maybe, for my stepson, who's now 18. This guy manages bands. He's kind of a, I don't know, hippie party kind of guy, and he has younger boys there that he's putting bands together for. I have no idea if he's legit or what he does. I know that's the house because I remember the road, Rockstar Road, Lane. I mean, I'm sure she's either seeing him or...
Do you want her to see the children at your home?
Yeah, anytime.
Okay.
I've even offered the home to her. I'll move out. I've offered her the home to stay there, and I'll go stay with my brothers, which she's taken a few times, but she'd leave the next day or sometimes leave at midnight and leave.
All right. So she can come to your house and hang out with the kids on the weekends?
Sure.
Okay. It will be a temporary order until maybe you reach some agreement in mediation. So Mr. Anderson just put together a proposed time schedule for her to visit at his home, not to take them out of state without his written permission, and it will be on the weekends after school. Okay.
We can do that, yeah.
All right. You need to put together a list of anything that you want out of the house and provide that to counsel so he has some idea of what you're wanting.
I would have to be at the house. She's stolen things out of the house. She's stolen...
I've never stolen anything from him ever in my life.
Dad would like to, before any items are removed.
I'm
see
not
the list.
ordering it. I'm just saying it to give you an idea of what
No,
you
I
want.
just meant I wouldn't want her at the house seeing the boys or my daughter if I'm not there.
Okay, so we'll put that in the order.
Things are missing.
What's in the order?
What's the return date?
What did he just say?
You can't go over there without him there.
December 1st, 11 a.m. You're going to keep me from all my children?
She just told you the order is you can come see them anytime.
Hold on, you can't talk to her.
All right, I'm sorry.
Do you have
Fill
questions?
that form out for me, your address, where your mail's going to go.
Just for clarification, as far as him picking up Jordan at this time,
As soon as he finishes his drug test.
and I know you wanted them to be tested before noon, but you also want them to go to mediation. Do you have preference where they go first?
12:30.
Okay, we'll take mediation first, and then...
12:30.
And,
Miss York, listen to me.
Yeah, it's... Nah,
You can see them on the weekends.
care.
He needs to be at home.
I don't... Nah.
You need to go down and register for mediation. Then you need to go directly to
you need
ATI
time
and
to.
test for drugs. Those are the steps. Register for mediation, go do your drug test, and then he's going to pick up Jordan at Patricia's house. You're not to go over there. He's going directly to Patricia's house after he drug tests. All right? So don't go over there and cause problems, so the police have to be called and create a lot of drama. Okay? He's enrolling her in school, or he's going to homeschool her, but school starts Monday, so you need to make the preparation.
She has scheduled TV filming.
You need to keep Dad apprised of what all
She
this
knows everything. I
is.
can prove it.
I'm talking! What don't you understand about that?
I just don't understand.
Oh my God, we're off the record. I can't talk to you because all you do is